Yes, God will call a man who had an addiction problem as a way to get them here. But how many of us know that God desires to do a deeper work in our lives? God desires to go deeper. He desires to take us on a process. And sometimes that process is uncomfortable and we are unwilling at times to go with it. But I'm going to ask Brian to share briefly about the goodness of God and what God is doing in his life. Amen?
Amen.
Hi, Brian. I'm from Virginia. I've been in New York for about 6 months. I was in a similar program for 4 months before that. And it's a miracle that I'm standing here this morning. I mean, as of this time yesterday, in my mind and in my process, I was on a plane back to Virginia. I'd given up. Thank God that He has me in a place where that I'm accountable to people. I mean, there's a brother in the program that's with me that, he was the first defense that kept me there, and then these two gentlemen right here, I mean, I was sold out on being gone yesterday, and, when I was about 18, I had my first child. I have 3 children. I have a daughter, and I have, with another lady, I have 2 more children, and I've been stabbed on 2 different occasions. I've been buried alive in a construction accident. I spent 11 months in a wheelchair. I was homeless for 9 months. I come from a pretty affluent family. My family owns a farm in Virginia. At one time it was 1,100 acres. I had everything I wanted. I was a spoiled brat, to be honest with you. My father gave me tough love and, made me work, instilled a great work ethic in me. But I always could run to Mom if I needed anything, and at one point in my life I owned a business for about 11 years, did really well with that, and when my oldest son was about 4 or 5, and my youngest was about a year old, the mother removed them from the family, took them to North Carolina, got married to this man. For 11 months I didn't hear from them. I got a call from Duke University that they were beaten and abused. When I got there, my 18-month-old had 47 visible welts, and they had him restrained to one side so he couldn't lay on his back and harm himself worse. So I was a drug addict for 14 years. I mean, I was doing drugs through this whole thing, but once that happened, I had no character, no morals, no nothing left. I just went off the deep end, so to speak. And in my mind, I retaliated. It was the right thing to do. I retaliated. I found this gentleman, and I ended up in prison with an attempted murder charge. I got the paperwork, says the sentence is 25 years to life. So here I am, 29 years old, sitting in jail looking at spending a minimum of 25 years, and with the way that it went down, probably looking towards life. Spent 2 years and 11 months in prison. My family put up a bunch of land, a bunch of money. Make a long story short there, I was released with a malicious wounding with intent. About 2 years later, I got custody of those children. And now I still have custody of those children. They're at home with my parents. Praise God for that. But the miracle that's really been taking place in my life this week is on Thursday, I called down, checked on my family and everything, and my 11-year-old, who was the one who didn't take most of the abuse, but physically, but seen it and witnessed it, and he really struggled with anger. He's 11 now. He's really lashing out. He's really struggling with anger. He's struggling with everything that he's seen. And he's having suicidal thoughts. He's talking suicidal things. So he's in an institution right now, which was really, really hard for me to take. And also, part of my father's land, 250 acres, was put up to help me to fight the lawyers and everything, so that I could get out of prison during my charge. And it looks like they're going to end up with some of that because of some documents and things. So for the last couple days, I really struggled with, having faith in God that He knows what He's doing. Look, I know God's sovereign, but walking this thing out and knowing, in times like this, when your 11-year-old son is, in an institution talking about taking his life, and I'm 600-700 miles away from home and really have no contact with him, when your family, the ones that stood by you through everything, is losing things, and all I can say is that I know that there's 7 numbers in front of that decimal, for financial part of that land, and like RJ said yesterday, he's never met my dad or even talked to my dad, but he could call my dad and you know, ask him, what would you like for your son to do? You know, would you want him to stay or do you want him to come home? And RJ said, you know, he'd be willing to bet that my dad would say, just let the land go. And, you know, not only that, my dad would say, they're doing me a favor, it's less work I got to do, you know. But I wasn't thinking like that. You know, yesterday, my mind wasn't there, you know, because I didn't have, you know, the accountability, and praise God for that. Praise God for Teen Challenge and the people that he's put in my life, because I know that I would have given up. You know, my intentions were not to go and get high and all that stuff, but look, I'm smart enough to know that that's going to happen inevitably if I leave this program prematurely. You know, I know standing on my own strength that I won't make it, you know, but I just have to have faith in God that he's going to take care of these things, you know, and it's not easy to do, you know, but he's placed me in a place, placed me under an umbrella, placed me with brothers and leadership that is willing to help me and, you know, and just totally let me lash out and just be totally lost in emotion, you know, and like I said, I was one of these guys who was, you know, I grew up on a farm, worked all the time, I've been to prison, I've done all that stuff. You know, showing emotion is not a thing that I'm comfortable with, or was comfortable with. Now it really don't matter. But, you know, I'm extremely emotional, and you know, I don't understand, you know, what God's doing, you know, but I understand that God's sovereign, and I understand that what Brian does is going to get him dead, or, you know, hopeless. So I have to, you know, let God do this thing, and you know, just standing here less than 18 hours away from the devil is attacking me and me, you know, going home. You know, I called RJ yesterday. I said, "Look, man, just bring my stuff and come home." And he, you know, he didn't have a clue because I hadn't showed any signs and I hadn't talked to anybody about it. You know, and I had made that decision. You know, and I just praise God for them for that. I praise God for giving me the wisdom to be talked to listen, to soften my heart, and to understand that, you know, even though I don't know how he's going to do something with this, I know that he can. You know what I'm saying? And I have no idea. You know, he's not the one who abused the children, you know, and things of that nature, but he's going to use that for his glory, you know, and he's doing that now with me standing here in front of you guys, you know, and I'm just so thankful for him, and I'm thankful for Teen Challenge. And the scripture that I'm really standing on right now is 2 Corinthians 5:7. Walk by faith and not by sight, because what I see right now is really bleak and really bad, and I don't see the end of it. But, you know, through these guys and my brothers, you know, that they know that there's a way that God's going to take care of this, and I just have to have faith in that.
Amen.